Hi, welcome to Ed Foodie. We're gonna make a little, I guess a snack hors d'oeuvre, I guess you might call it. I'm kind of thinking of things to do. We got football season in full swing. We'll have college championships coming pretty soon. We'll have Super Bowl coming. So this is something I think it'd be pretty good to serve with it. It's a French galette, it's called. And I'm telling you, I'm looking at the recipe and the sky's the limit on what you can do with this. You can make it kind of on the dessert side, breakfast side. Today we're going to do more of the savory side. And I think I may do maybe a couple more videos in the future on these because like I said, sky's the limit. I can envision a Greek recipe using feta cheese and maybe like an olive spread. Wow, that sounds good. But let's get started real quick. So the first thing we're gonna do, I've got I'm just using Pepperidge Farm. I have no idea which is the best. And this has 2 puff pastry sheets in it. We're only gonna use one. So I'll take one out, put the other one back in the freezer. And like I said, I'll probably do another video later on this. And you can see on here, this is like for a dessert type of puff pastry. And I've never worked with puff pastry before, so this will be a first for me. So here's pretty easy. Here's our 2 pieces. I'll wrap this up for later. It looks like it's already pre-floured. So because this is frozen, I'm gonna just let this sit out. According to the package, it says 40 minutes. I'll check it in about 30 minutes. Because it says you really want to work with this pretty fast. You don't want it to thaw more than 40 minutes. But in 30 minutes, we'll look at it and see if we can't unfold this. And then we're going to get a rolling pin and measure this out, thin it out a little bit if we need to. And that's why I'm using one of these. It says to roll 13 inches by 9 inches. It's been about 30 minutes and it seems like it's thawing out pretty good. So the first thing I want to do here on my surface, I want to spread, just a little bit of flour just so that it doesn't stick. That was probably less than a tablespoon. And this, when you unfold this, it's kind of nice. It's got a lot of paper and stuff in there so that it doesn't stick. And there's, like I said, there's already quite a bit of flour on here. And I think this is all the way. It's like folded in 3s. And so this is like 9, almost like 9 by 9. So what I want to do is roll this out just a little bit bigger. The reason why we want to do this a little bit bigger is, we're going to fold up the crusts on this. And so we want to make sure there's still plenty of room to put the filling. All right, that's all I'm going to do here. So we've got 10 by 13, that's perfect. Okay, I've basically got a cookie sheet here lined with parchment paper. I'm going to pick up my dough and place it on the parchment paper. Like I said, you can make this, on the sweet side, the savory side. I'm going to do maybe a little bit of both. So in my dough, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. I've got some poppy seed. And I mean, just, not much. Then kind of tap that into the dough. And then the same, I'm going to put a little bit of thyme, ground thyme. little bit all over. That's going to give us a little savory, and it's going to go really well with the Brie cheese. So now for our fruit filling, I'm going to do 2, so I'm going to do half in a fig. I'm using fig fruit spread, and I really think this will be better. Then I'm also going to use some orange marmalade. And the orange marmalade I think will go good. I think it's going to be also really good. I just happen to have some left over from another recipe. So I'm going to put 1/4 of a cup on one side of the orange and 1/4 of a cup of the fig on the other side. And like I say, we're going to fold over the ends to make a little, like a pizza crust. So you don't want to go up that far. I'm going to leave about 1 inch. Now for our fig. We can set this aside for just a minute. My oven is preheated to 375. Before I start slicing my cheese, you know how Brie comes to room temperature pretty fast, and when it gets a little bit warm, it's kind of gooey and sticky and hard to slice. So what I've done, it was in the refrigerator, of course, and then I put it in the freezer for just like 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, just to get it as cold as possible. I don't want to freeze it, just to get it really, really, really cold. And then I'll have to slice it real quick and put it on our dough here. I've got a 7-ounce round of Brie. So what I think I'll do is maybe just kind of, you want this pretty thin, as thin as you can do it. I'm gonna go around and try to make a square the best I can. Then if we need to, we can use these round pieces at the end. All right, so let's just start slicing this nice and thin. And we can even go ahead and put it, let's see, make sure we can get this good for y'all to see. And again, you want to keep it away, 1 inch away from each of the edges, because we're going to fold that up. I'm going to start doing this fairly sparingly, just to make sure I've got enough cheese to cover the whole thing. You know, it doesn't have to be totally covered. I'll put 4 on that side. Yeah, so these remainder pieces I can put here in the middle. So I'm going to take each of the ends and kind of just pull them up a little bit. Over top of the slices of cheese. You can pinch a little bit so that they hold their place. And then pinch just so you get a nice little crust that's going to bake in there. I'm going to add just another little dusting of the thyme on top. And I mean, don't go overboard on this stuff. Okay. Now the last thing to do before we bake it, I've got 1 egg beaten. What we're going to do is get a basting brush and kind of baste the crust here so that it gets, you know, a nice golden brown while it's baking. All right, got my 375-degree oven. We're going to bake this for I'll set the timer for 35 minutes. We'll take a look at it. It may have to go 40 minutes. Pulled it out of the oven in 30 minutes. So yeah, be careful you don't cook it too long. It's getting just nice and brown from the egg on the corners there. Looks pretty good. I tell you what, looking at this, first thing came to my mind, I think on my second sheet, I'm gonna make carameled onion with nutmeg and then some Gruyere cheese. I think, wow, does that sound good. So let's, this would be a great time to own a pizza cutter, but I don't have one. We'll just start with one piece there. So, you know, these are pretty good pieces, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 9, probably 9. It'll serve 9 to 12 pieces. So let's try one of these. And I think I've got the fig side. I should have paid attention when I pulled this out. Yeah, brie and a little bit of that sweet fig jam. Wow, really nice. And Christmas, I always love to go out and buy the baked brie, those little pie things, which this is real similar. Man, is that good. Simple baking, you don't have to worry about making the dough and the crust. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Foodie right over there. Thank you for watching.